I'm Zaza. Today we are going to try a recipe from the Asian Barbecue Cookbook by Skaria, and it's a pretty famous recipe. It's called Spicy Sweet Pork Satay with Fiery Lime Chilli Dip. I am not used to eating pork, so I am going to replace it with beef instead. But the reason why I chose this satay is because it says here that this satay comes from the southern region of Thailand, bordering Malaysia, and I come from Singapore. So my idea of satay is completely different from what I see here in this recipe. I thought, like, okay, why not I give it a shot and see how it goes. Here you can find this recipe on this book. Here at page 121, you will find all the sets of ingredients and the steps how to do it. But what we will do also now is to show you what the ingredients are and how to do it. So you get sugar, pepper, this is red pepper, turmeric, soya sauce, fish sauce, lime juice, coconut, coriander roots, as well as garlic. Now, if you cannot get coriander roots, I used to live in Frankfurt, so sometimes we get coriander without the roots. So skip that. Inside this book it says that you can use the stem of the coriander leaves instead. Yeah. So this is going to be for the coconut satay marinade. Then comes the Fiery Lime Chilli Dip. Here this is you get coriander leaves, lime juice, fish sauce, soya sauce, sugar, as well as chili flakes. Then after that we have here, I substitute the pork with beef. Now in here, in this book, it says that cut the meat to 1 inch by 3 inches. You know, when I was growing up in Singapore, I used to go to satay club and eating satay all the time. Our beef are very, very tiny, the slices, pieces of meat. So when I look at like 1 by 3 inches, it's like really big. Nah, I'll stick to the sizes that I'm used to. So you can cut it to whatever size that you're comfortable with. And plus, this is really easy in the mouth, one mouthful. And so we are going to start to marinate everything together and put everything one way. Let me start now with the first step of the book. Now, the first step, it says, to make the marinade, you have to ground the garlic. This is the garlic. And the coriander roots. And then you have to do it, ground it to a paste. This is going to be a little bit tricky because with the coriander roots, yeah, it's kind of hairy. So you really got to pound and then you do this. This is like grinding it so that you don't get this hairy stuff inside your food. You continue to beat this up first. Pound. Okay, as you can see here, this is now I've pounded it to a paste. Now I need to add the turmeric inside, the red pepper. I use the hot chili a little bit because I like it a little bit hotter than normal. And sugar. Now these you have to mix into the entire paste. This is light brown sugar. It's written in the book, but if you don't have light brown sugar, I think you can go with white sugar. So you just ground this again to a paste, and then you start adding all the rest of the ingredient. You can see that now this motion, it's a bit yellowish. It's simply because of the turmeric, and it did say here that this is more with turmeric, yeah. But you know, my kind of satay in Singapore is normally with peanut sauce, cumin, coriander, lemongrass. So satay with fish sauce and soya sauce. Don't know about that. We'll see. Yeah. So start mixing everything all together. And then I'm going to add in the coconut. I think this is what makes it special. This is an entire coconut. Yeah. So it's nice to mix it inside the mortar. If you don't have a mortar, after you have used a food processor, just mix it in a bowl. So I have already mixed it and it's very well combined inside here. Now it's time to put the marinade into the beef. Mix it all together. And then you start mixing it, yeah? Okay, whilst waiting for the meat to marinate, because you got to marinate it for at least 1 hour. So we are going to do the Fiery Lime Chilli Dip. It's really, really simple. It's just adding all these ingredients together. So again, here you have lime juice. This is fish sauce, soya sauce, sugar. I use brown sugar instead. Red pepper. This is chili flakes, yeah? So if you don't have chili flakes, you have red pepper, then you can use red pepper, but I think you can just chop up some fresh chili, red fresh chili, chop it up and throw it inside if you don't have chili flakes. And then you add in the coriander inside. So after you do that, you just mix it. Okay, so now this meat has been marinated for over 1 hour. I'm going to show you how to skewer it into the bamboo stick. Now, the most important thing is you need to soak this bamboo stick at least 30 minutes. I like to soak it much longer because if you don't soak it and you put it on the grill, this thing is going to burn. So we are going to put in the meat, yeah, into the skewer. Typically, satay is 3-piece meat. This is from what I know growing up, yeah. And but I did read in Wikipedia, and it says that satay is originally 4-piece meat. Not sure about that. I've not seen a 4-piece meat satay. So you basically poke it through. You must make sure that your satay doesn't fall, yeah. So you have it this way. So you track through the skewer, and if you notice, there are some part of the meats that has got a bit of fats in it. That is really perfect for satay because from what I remember as well, when we do our satay, they always have the fats in between. And I used to tell my mom, "Mom, why do I have to eat satay with fats in between?" And she says, "Oh no, that makes your satay really juicy." So I think, yeah, we'll do satay with fats in between. Okay, so before we grill the satay, this recipe calls for you to use the balance of the marinade as basting sauce. So the balance needs to be simmered first. So let me just heat this up a little bit more. Just gonna put this in. Simmer it. It didn't really say, hang on, say for a few minutes. It didn't really say how many minutes you need to do it. So I think just simmer it until it's sort of thickened a little bit more. But you also need to understand that this is coconut. Coconut tends to break from my experience cooking. Okay, you can see now that it has reduces it into half. It has thickened already here. So I think this can stop now. We can now start to focus on grilling the satay. Okay, so I use a grill pan here because I don't have a barbecue at home. And in Singapore these days, we all live in an apartment building, in flats. And the chances of like barbecuing it at home is very minimal. So they start to fry their satay instead. So they call it satay goreng. Here I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. It's like if my mom sees this, she'll say like, "You're frying your satay," but this is not really frying my satay because it's on a grill pan, Mom. So it's coming in between the frying and the grilling. We'll see how it goes. Lucky she's not around to see. But okay, this is something that I know is not written in this book, but I have to do this because in Malaysia, in Singapore, my memories again, we always use pandan leaves like a brush, you know, it acts like a brush. So we oil our grill plate like this, and this has a beautiful aroma. So it kind of adds to the satay. Yeah, it will give some nice smell all over it. So I'm going to use this, and then we are going to baste with it as well. Yeah. Some people I saw when I was young at Satay Club, they use lemongrass instead. But you see, I don't have lemongrass right now, so pandan leaves is available. Let me just now see whether this is hot enough. And I was waiting for that. Let me tell you a little bit about Satay Club. Satay Club is like a hawker center, a food center in Singapore. It was way back when I was like maybe 8 years old. I was always going to Satay Club. My memories of Satay Club is like really fantastic because you get like 50, 60 satay stalls, all competing, trying to be like, I am the king of satay, or I am the best satay stall that you can get. So all these men, they just sit down there, do absolutely nothing but just grill their satay. And because it was at where Singapore is, it was at Esplanade, if you know Singapore. Before Satay Club was there, so we were sitting just by the sea, eating our barbecue skewered meat. This is smoking, so I'm gonna put it in. This is, leave it a little bit. Yeah, maybe I have to put it all inside. You have to cook it until you can smell, okay? You do the oil thing like that, and then you take this and you baste it. I do it the traditional Singapore way. Phew. It's really smoky out here, so but this is already done, as you can see. It doesn't take very long because the meat is very thin, yeah? So it takes about 2 minutes at max. So we're going to do this again. Just put more, and then we're going to use the typical style of Singapore. Baste it. You know, don't keep the temperature too high, because you know in the olden days in Singapore, after they do this, they thin, and then the smell flies everywhere, and it makes you want to eat the satay so much. It's called free smell, but must pay when you buy. So I'm doing the pan. See, Mom? Well, the moment of truth. Let's try this. This is really completely different from the satay I'm really used to. It says here that you can serve this with jasmine rice and green papaya salad or other types of salads, yeah, green salad. But in Malaysia, in Indonesia, and in Singapore, we serve our satay with ketupat, or we call it rice cake, and also with cucumber as well as onion, because it goes really well with the peanut sauce. So I'm just going to do it with my rice cake because I'm still a Singaporean. So let's try now. I really have to say that it's really different from the satay I'm used to, but it's really good because you really can taste the coconut, man, and it's very good. It's really, really good. Let me try it with the ketupat. Even better, very strong.